Hello, all, welcome back. Today we are going to start matter in our surroundings. So, what is matter? Anything that have mass and occupies space is known as matter. Matter is made up of particles. So, this can be understood by a simple experiment of making a salt or sugar solution. Add few spoons of salt or sugar in a glass of water and mix it well. What we see that sugar or salt mixes in water. This is because both salt and water or sugar exist as small particles, and these particles tend to mix together due to the presence of interparticle spaces or intercellular spaces. So for example, these fingers are the particles of water and these fingers are the particles of sugar or salt. If when we mix together due to the interparticle spaces, we see that these mix together very well. So now what are the characteristics of particles of matter? Particles of matter have interparticle spaces between them. Particles of matter are continuously moving. For example, when we light an incense stick or when we spray a perfume, we can smell it from a distance because these particles of matter are continuously moving. Kinetic energy. So now what is kinetic energy? This is the energy for movement. This energy is responsible for the continuous movement of the particles. Also, with the rise in temperature, the particles move faster. Hence, temperature increases the kinetic energy. Particles move and spread because they intermix together. Perfume can be smelled in air from a distance. So now what causes the intermixing? Presence of the interparticle spaces is responsible for the intermixing. And diffusion is the process of intermixing of two types of matter on their own. What are the states of matter? There are three broad and important states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. These states of matter arise due to the variation in the properties of the particles of matter. Let us now see what are the different properties of each state of matter. First is the solid state. Solid state has a definite shape. It have the differentiated boundaries. Volume of the solid state is fixed. For example, a pencil. This is a pencil and this is solid. As we can see, it has a definite shape and its volume is also fixed. It cannot be increased or decreased on its own. They maintain the shape when outside forces are applied. When we apply the outside forces, I am applying pressure on the pencil, but its shape is not changing. And they are rigid. This is rigid. Particles are closely packed and there are no interparticle spaces. These are the small particles of solid. These are very closely packed. There are very less or negligible interparticle spaces. Next is the liquid state of matter. The liquid state of matter has no fixed shape. For example, water. Water is a liquid and it doesn't have any fixed shape. But yes, it has a fixed volume. We can calculate as 1 liter of water, 2 liter in mLs and etc. The liquids take up the shape of container. When we pour water in a glass or in a cup or in a bowl, it takes the shape of the container. Particles are loosely packed and very small interparticle spaces are present. These are the particles of liquid in a container. These are loosely packed and we can see the interparticle spaces. Liquids flow, hence are called fluids. So now solids diffuse in liquids. Water, for example, as we saw when we prepared salt or sugar solution, salt and sugar are the solids and they diffuse in the water to make the salt or sugar solution. Atmospheric gases diffuse and dissolve in water. So now what are the atmospheric gases? Gases that are present in atmosphere. For example, carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. So these gases diffuse in water. When oxygen is dissolved in water, it is helpful for the aquatic animals to breathe. Rate of diffusion of liquids is higher than solids. This is because in the liquids there are more interparticle spaces and particles are free to move. Next is the gaseous state. Here the particles are very loosely packed with very large interparticle spaces. The particles are very loosely packed and there are very large interparticle spaces. Gases are highly compressible. So now we can compress the gases by applying pressure, and then when we apply pressure they get liquefied because these interparticle spaces which are large here, the particles tend to get together and these interparticle spaces then become very less and they are liquefied. For example, LPG, which is liquefied petroleum gas. This is the cooking gas which we get in the cylinders in our kitchen. CNG, compressed natural gas. This gas is used as the fuel for vehicles. Oxygen, compressed oxygen for hospitals. Now we all know that oxygen, liquefied oxygen are used in medical use. Large volume of gas can be compressed in cylinders, making it easy to transport. So this is the application or advantage of the liquefaction or compressibility of gases, that large volume of gases can be compressed and put it in a cylinder, and then these are very easy to transport. So now let us see what is the effect of change of temperature on matter. In solids first, when the temperature increase, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase. These particles will now start vibrating. After a point, these will start moving freely after leaving its fixed position. Ultimately, what will happen? The solid will melt and will be converted to liquid. So let us see, these are the fingers. Let us consider it as the particles of solid. These are placed fixed like this, and we can see there are no interparticle spaces. So when temperature is increased, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase. They will first start vibrating like this. At a point, they will leave the fixed position. This position was fixed. Due to the rise in temperature and increase in kinetic energy, they will ultimately leave the fixed position and they will start moving freely. So one point will come when the solid will melt and it will be converted to liquid. Generally we know what is melting, but now we know the reason behind it. So the temperature at which solid melts to become liquid at the atmospheric pressure is known as the melting point. So the process of melting scientifically is known as fusion. Melting point of ice is 273.15 Kelvin, which is equal to 0 degree centigrade. K here denotes Kelvin, and Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. So in science we have standard units to measure the standard quantities, and temperature is also a quantity, and standard unit of temperature is Kelvin. We generally use Celsius term for measuring the temperature. When we have to convert the units in Kelvin to Celsius, what we have to do? We just have to subtract 273 from the given temperature in centigrade. For example, S is the given temperature in centigrade. We have to subtract 273 from that given temperature. And if we are given the temperature in Celsius and want to convert into the Kelvin, we just need to add the quantities. For example, temperature A, we are given in Kelvin, we have to convert it into the Celsius. we just need to subtract 273 from 100 and then we will get minus 173. And if we have to convert Celsius to Kelvin, we have to add 273 to the given temperature, we get 373 Kelvin. So now what is the latent heat? Latent word means hidden. So the heat or energy, we should always know that heat is also a form of energy. So what is latent heat? Heat or energy which is absorbed or released during a phase change is known as latent heat. What is a phase change? What are the three phases of matter? Solid, liquid or gas. And what is phase change? When solid is converted to liquid or liquid to solid, liquid is converted to gas or vice versa, or solid is converted directly to gas and gas to solid. We will study further what is this process is known as. So these are the phase changes. So the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid, this is a phase change, solid to liquid at atmospheric pressure, that is normal conditions, at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. So the latent heat which is required for the process of fusion, that is the melting of 1 kg of solid, this is a standard condition at the atmospheric pressure, is known as latent heat of fusion. So now let us see the case of liquids. As in solids, similarly, when we rise the temperature of liquids, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase and they will move freely and even faster, because already the particles of liquid are moving freely due to the presence of interparticle spaces and they are somewhat loosely packed, and they will now move even faster. This is because the forces of attraction are broken. So these particles are held together like this because it have interparticle spaces. These are held together because there are forces of attraction. So when the kinetic energy increases, these forces break. So now liquid will start changing to gas. This process we generally see in our day-to-day life when we boil water. What we do when we boil water? Water is a liquid. When we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy increases and we see the bubbles. These are the particles when they start moving freely. Ultimately, liquid start changing to gas when we see the water vapors. So what is the boiling point? The temperature at which liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. And the process of boiling, the process is known as vaporization. So what is the latent heat of vaporization? The heat absorbed or released when liquid is changed to vapor state is known as latent heat of vaporization. Here also there is a phase change. The liquid phase is converted to vapor state. So due to the latent heat of vaporization, the particles of steam have more energy than water at the same temperature. Hence, steam causes more severe burns as compared to water. So when the steam is formed, that is when the liquid gets converted to the gaseous state, there is the latent heat of vaporization in it. So the steam particles have extra energy in them than the liquid water at same temperature. So it causes severe burns as compared to water. When solid is directly changes to gaseous state without changing it to the liquid state is known as sublimation. As I stated earlier, when the solid directly changes to gaseous state and the liquid state is missed, then it is known as sublimation. And the vice versa, when the solid without when the gas changes to solid without changing to liquid state is known as deposition. So in the flowchart we can see here, when the solid is converted to liquid, it is known as fusion, and the vice versa is known as solidification. When the solid is converted to gas, missing the liquid state is known as sublimation, and the vice versa is known as deposition. Similarly, when the liquid changes to gas, it is known as vaporization, and when gas changes to liquid, it is known as condensation. So I hope this was helpful for you all. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and the links to the previous videos are present in the description box.